Good wishes, dear students. In this part we will continue with right to information. As we have started this topic in my previous part, I will continue with this. The Right to Information Act 2005 was passed on June 15, 2005 and which came into force on October 13, 2005. Hitherto, information was disclosed in India by the Official Secretariat Act 1923. This RTI Act gives citizens of India access to records of the central and state governments. The Act applies to all states and union territories of India, excepting the state of Jammu and Kashmir. But now, from this year, Jammu and Kashmir, all the special rights have been dissolved from Jammu and Kashmir. So now Jammu and Kashmir has also been added under all these rights. Under the provision of the Act, any citizen of India may request for information from a public authority which is required to reply within 30 days. According to it, RTI, any customer or citizen of India could write to the government authorities and can ask for the information, and the government or that authority has to provide all the information within the span of 30 days. The Act also requires every public authority to computerize their records and publish certain categories of information so that citizens need minimum resource to request for information. Under the Act, right to information includes the following: request for as defined information, take copies of documents, inspection of document records and works, taking certified samples of materials of work, obtaining information in form of printout, tapes, floppies, video cassettes or any other electronic mode. That's why when you are searching in the Google engine, you can find so many informations are there for of the government and their policies also. They are revealing many truths publicly so that people should get all the informations from there also. Okay. Process. Under the Act, all authorities covered must appoint Public Information Officer, PIO, Public Information Officer, who will provide information to public. It is the obligation of PIO to provide information as desired if the request is related or concerned to another public authority. In whole or part, it is his PIO's responsibility to forward the concerned part of the request to other authority within period of 5 days. Within period of 5 days. Besides, every public authority is also required to appoint assistant public information officers to receive RTI, that is right to information request, and appeal for forwarding to the PIOs. The absence of authentic information on matters of public interest will encourage rumors, speculations and allegations against individuals or institutions. Therefore, this Act will help the citizens to perform their fundamental duties also. So, PIOs, Public Information Officers, have the duty to give all the informations required by the citizens. It is their duty. So, it is providing fundamental duties also. Right to information is not absolute. There are always remain areas of information that need to be protected in public and national interest. Moreover, the right to information may have an adverse effect of an overload demand on administration. So this right to information needs to be properly classified. No right therefore can be absolute. Under RTI, there are certain things which has to be kept secret, also for the secrecy of government and for the secrecy of the security of national, that is national security. Certain informations like of defense and other things which are kept secret are not being revealed. If you will ask under the RTI that give the informations of armories or such type of defense, that they will not provide as for national security. So they are kept secret, certain things. Okay. Now here it is other consumers protection measures. In order to protect the interest of consumers, the government adopted 3 strategies. Strategies means competitive planning, legislative, administrative and technical. We have already discussed legal measures above. Now we will mention some other consumer protection measures undertaken by the government as follows. First is administrative measures. Distribution essential commodities through public distribution system is an administrative measure, that is PDS, public distribution system, are being done in the ration shops or by the certain outlets or shops that are formed or opened by the government to provide materials or things which are essential for the people who cannot afford it at higher prices in the open market. Like you have seen in ration shops, oil, kerosene oil, rice, wheat, all these are being distributed, pulses are being distributed at minimum price, that is ration price. So that these are the basic needs for the general people also, and those who cannot afford could buy from this PDS system, that is public distribution system. So PDS with a network of 4.74 lakh fair price shop is perhaps the largest distribution network of its type in the world. It is operated under the joint responsibility of the central and state government. Apart from ensuring food security to the poor, the public distribution system is also expected to prevent hoarding, black marketing and overcharging by traders. So under PDS system, it is also being ensured that hoarding should not be there, that is keeping the stock at the dump and to increase its price and then selling it. It should not be there. Black marketing should not be there. It is being ensured by the government. Now in box 14.2 you can see what is public distribution system. As I have discussed, it is written over here. Increase in the availability of food grains in a country may not be sufficient to attain the goal of food security. People do not have the capability to purchase that food grain at market prices. Therefore, market prices means in open market. Therefore, the government aims at distributing the food grains among the common people at an affordable price, that is at a price lower than the market price. As a result, the government procures the food grains from the farmers at a support price, that is to protect the interest of the farmers, builds a stock of food grains and distributes the same at a reasonable prices through fair price shops. You have seen many FCIs, Food Corporation of India, are purchasing directly from the farmers at fair prices, at a reasonable prices, so that farmers would also get benefit, and then they keep it at FCI places, and then through this they distribute in the market and through the PDS system also. So this system is called the public distribution system, which is known as PDS. Now this was administrative measure. Now technical measures. Technical measures consist of standardization of products. Indian government has established Bureau of Indian Standards, that is BIS, and AgMark. BIS is for industrial and consumer goods, while AgMark is meant for agricultural product. BIS, earlier known as Indian Standard Institutes, ISI. Previously it was being known as ISI, now it is BIS, whose headquarters are located in New Delhi. It has the responsibility of laying down the standards of industrial and consumer goods on a scientific basis and certifying the goods that meet the standards and the prescribed quality. In case of dissatisfaction with the quality of certified product, a consumer can complain to the nearest regional office of the BIS. Ag mark is implemented under the Agricultural Produce Grading and Marketing Act 1937 as amended in 1986. This scheme is run by the Directorate of Marketing and Intelligence (DMI) in the Ministry of Agriculture, Government of India. Products such as honey, masala and spices carry such marks. In the spices packaging you could see ag marks over there, that is for the food products, and BIS is for the goods or consumer goods or other goods. These are the standard certificate being given by the government that this quality is good, and if you find any adulteration or any mixing or any harmful effect in this product, you can complain to BIS or AgMark located nearest to you, so that they could take action against them. So this, according to the standard of India, they have found suitable for this product to be sold in the market. Eco mark is a certification mark issued by the BIS to products conforming to a set of standards aimed at the least impact on the ecosystem. It was started in 1991. Eco mark, that is eco-friendly product which are not harmful for the environment and atmosphere. So this BIS has started this eco mark. It gives eco mark on that product which are eco-friendly, environment friendly, and which do not pollute our environment. So we have to look all this mark when we are purchasing certain things, so that it will not affect adversely to our health also, and it will keep our environment safe and clean. So this is all about awareness, and as we all are consumers purchasing different products, we should be aware of our rights and duties. This is all about consumer awareness. Okay student, so this was the last chapter of this book, Consumer Awareness. You should go through this chapter, complete question answers. This will be your homework, and prepare for your half-yearly and final examinations in a proper way, so as to score good numbers in this. Thank you students, thank you so much.